walking in my purpose, baby. Just getting started, I ain't even scratching surface, baby.
So I just wanted to take a moment for a very purposeful pause. And this came as I was preparing for tonight's episode of the King's Cutting Board podcast. I had a revelation, a personal discovery that hit me deep in the heart. So in life, love, and relationships, we often think the problem is the question. But what if the real issue wasn't the question itself, but what we think the question means? So I realized that there were moments where my interpretation of someone's words were driven by unhealed wounds, internal triggers that I've never fully confronted. And I wasn't growing past my hurts. I was actually grouping every situation into the same pain, just replaying the same story and wondering why I wasn't healing. In truth, I was self-sabotaging. Does this sound familiar? And let me ask you something. Why do we respond to each emotional challenge like it has to hit the same exact wound in which we carried for years? Imagine this. You got a sore on your leg, right? And every time you fall, you intentionally make sure to land on that same spot. That sounds painful and a little irrational, right? But that's exactly what many of us do emotionally. One old little betrayal, one moment of abandonment, one unresolved fear, and we carry it into every disagreement, every misunderstanding, every silence in our relationships. Now picture this instead. You have an athlete running so hard towards the finish line. They fall again, but each time they get up. They don't injure the same place. Why? Because they train their body to protect what's healing and to keep their focus on the race and not the fall. And that's the mindset we have to develop, a champion's mindset. One that says, yes, I failed, but that fall doesn't define me, and it doesn't get to reopen every wound I've been working to heal. Sometimes the fall is just a distraction, a setup to take your eyes off the finish line, but you've got more strength, you have more wisdom and more power than you had the last time. So stop reacting like you're still broken. Confront the challenge like a champion you're becoming. See, we often carry our past into places in which they don't belong, and we condemn ourselves not because of what is, but because of what we believe it means. And sometimes we're hard on ourselves. We don't even give life or love a chance to start afresh. So here's the shift I'm inviting. What if we started each day new? What if we gave each conversation, each relationship, and each question a clean slate, free from the residue of yesterday's pain? Self-sabotage thrives in the absence of awareness, but freedom begins with mindfulness. So let's be mindful of where our interpretations come from and how they might be shaping our self-worth more than the actual truth. This is my purposeful pause, my moment to reflect and to reset. And I want to invite you to join me tonight as we go live at 7 o'clock p.m. at the King's Cutting Board podcast. Let's unpack this together. Let's grow together. And you can find the information in the comments. So I hope to see you there.
I just been walking in my